Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Imperatempest and this is the second episode of the Earl of Trading. So this is a series that obviously has now got a lot of traction on my channel, which I'm really happy about. I really thank you guys for the support that you gave me on it and actually got me above 100 subscribers as well with basically just one video. So that's really cool to see and I'm glad you guys are interested in this series. So without further ado, we have a ton of trades to get through, so let's get into it. Quick note, I will be uploading more consistently in the future for this series. I just had some stuff going on in real life that prevented me from uploading episode 2, but there will be more consistent uploads of this series going forward. Recap for the previous episode if you didn't see it, we ended off at 518k value with Red Bucket of Cheer, which gets about 20k overpays, so we had about 538k value. We started off by just doing an equal upgrade into Black Iron Horns. A lot of the items I had were pretty under at the time and Black Iron Horns was doing pretty good, so it was a solid upgrade for me to take, and this was just an equal value upgrade. We then got offered this trade, which at the time was about a 2k overpay, which meant we were making a little bit, and we were getting Sinister Top Hat, which is a really solid semi-rare, and on top of that, it was a number 77 serial, which does have a little bit more draw to it. After this, an account with Sinister Top Hat got comped, and it got LPP'd, so it lost a lot of rep, but we didn't actually own it when that happened, so that was good. We then used our Ghost Theory to secure another really profitable trade, which was for Fiery plus Legit. This was a really good trade at the time, and it was about a 20k overpay for Fiery, which was really solid for us because Fiery was on discussion, and it was getting more like 30 to 50k. I got a few different random good offers on Fiery, but I ended up taking this one, which was an upgrade into Frozen Horns. Frozen Horns at the time was getting about 10k more than Fiery, and at the time this was an equal trade, which meant I was making about 10k on this. I then found someone that really wanted Roblox Madness Face, so he gave me Blue Bubble Trouble for about 4k overpay, so I actually made about 4k on this trade. He just really wanted Roblox Madness Face, and sometimes those trades will come along where you make profit off of someone just really wanting an item. At this point, I just kind of fielded offers for a while and moved stuff around and tried to figure out what people were going to give me for my items, but eventually I got this offered to me, which was a 60k overpay for Frozen, which was insane. It's just something that I was definitely going to take, considering that I already had made around 20k off of Frozen Raising. This being a 60k overpay meant that I was essentially making 80k overall on this Frozen upgrade. I then got a rare opportunity to get Washington's hat, which is an item that I've really wanted for a very long time, and even though I'm trying to make profit here, I was still really interested in picking this up, and I thought I could make just a slight bit of profit on it, so I ended up giving my Red Bucket of Cheer and Profit Vision goggles for Washington's hat, which was a bit more of an overpay than I probably had to give, but I do think was a decent trade overall, and I can still get some more off of Washington's hat. Washington's hat is incredibly rare, it's very hoarded, and there's only like 3 of them floating around at any given time, including mine, and given how low the circulation was and the offers that I was getting, this was a pretty good trade for me. I didn't expect to make much on this, maybe around 10k or so, but I was still happy to own the item since it was a dream item for a long time. And that's the beauty of trading. Once you make profit and you're able to get really far up there, you can get any dream item that you want, and you can own pretty much the coolest items that Roblox has to offer. I then entered some pretty cutthroat negotiations in order to get Blue Steel Domino Crown. This item was a very good option for me because I had Valkyrie helms, which were very high demand and very volatile. I didn't really want to hold them for very long in case of them dropping, and Blue Steel Domino Crown was a very solid item that, even though it had some fake proofs going around that were causing some of the community to not have so much faith in it, it was still a really good item and it was getting solid overpays, so I was definitely interested in getting one. Eventually I was able to work out a more than suitable offer, which was the one you see on screen right here. I got a lot of really solid items here, including Green Laurel Wreath, which I was valuing at around 30k or so because it did get some pretty good overpays, and I got Blue Steel Domino Crown as well. At the time, this was about a 35k OP, but given the fact that I also got the Green Laurel Wreath, this was actually around a 25k OP since I could pretty confidently get 10k off of Green Laurel Wreath. And then I just kind of did. I got Green Laurel Wreath traded off for a 10k overpay, which meant that I was giving about 25k for Blue Steel Domino Crown after this trade. It was actually way easier to get 10k off of this item than I expected. It's actually a really solid item, and I was expecting to wait a lot longer to actually get a trade like this. Now at this point in time, Valkyrie helms really started to pop off. They were getting super manipulated and just going up in value like crazy, so they actually went up to 250k each, which meant that my 2 Valkyrie helms from earlier were actually worth 500k. However, I didn't have them, so I was actually going to have to go and look for some new Valkyrie helms, which I eventually found here in a 48k overpay for Blue Steel Domino Crown, which meant that I was making about 23k in between the trade that I got Blue Steel Domino Crown and the trade I ended up getting it traded off. I then decided to just downgrade one of the Valkyrie helms so that I didn't have so much risk in my inventory, and I ended up taking on this JJ trade here, which was an equal downgrade for Valkyrie helm, and it had JJ in it, which was a really solid item at the time. I then got offered Wicked for about a 2k overpay, which was really solid because it was an upgrade. I was only paying 2k, and Wicked was a very highly desired immortal sword that could get me around a 10k overpay, so I was going to make about 8k on this trade. And then I just kind of did. Someone just came up to me and said that he would give me 10k on Wicked, and so I took that offer, and there it was, 10k on Wicked. Now this is going to be unrelated, but I noticed that my character looked like a nightclub owner, so I decided to just literally build a trading nightclub for like rare owners. It was kind of just a funny gimmick at the time, but it ended up actually getting really popular, and a lot of people joined, causing the nightclub to kind of explode in popularity, and everybody was kind of joining and trading and participating in gear wars and stuff like that. And it was a whole lot of fun for a while, and I actually might do this in the future as well, so maybe you can go ahead and stop by. The reason I bring this up is because at the nightclub somebody won a giveaway, which meant that I had to do this trade here, so I lost about 2k, but it was all in good fun. At this point I really needed to upgrade, so I ended up going for Al Capone, which is valued at 270k. This was an offer where I overpaid 19k for it, which at the time was a pretty normal thing to overpay for Al Capone. I got about 20k overpays, so this was just a good upgrade for me really. Since Al Capone was a bit of a slower item, I kind of decided that I needed a little bit more of a gimmick, a little bit more demand to actually get my Al Capone, so I went for Vodaf, which is a really good item to get here because it was going to match really well with Al Capone, and I was expecting to pay around 30k for Vodaf if I really wanted to get it, and I was actually not really getting any offers accepted when I was offering around 25k for it, but for some reason when I added 400 Robux, this person actually took my offer, which at the time was only about an 11k overpay for Vodaf, but JJ was heavily under and it was getting lowered down, so this was actually about an equal trade for Vodaf, which was really good because Vodaf is a solid item that gets around 30k overpays. This combo idea may have worked because I ended up getting this Prey offer here, which was really solid. It was a 440 for 435. I was actually looking to make Prey lowball 5k for Alan Vodaf because of how much they get in overpays, but this is pretty much the best offer that I could get for it, and I really wanted Prey because it was on a good incline in price and value, and it had a lot of good proofs, and it's getting around 40k pretty consistently, so it was a good item for me to upgrade into here. And also shout out to Faintly, he actually watched my first video and was interested in trading, so thanks for that, Faintly, and be sure to go ahead and check him out and send him some trades. And we then come to the final trade for this episode, which is this one right here. I ended up doing this one because a lot of my items were very under. Evil Skeptic was LPP'd, and also Dupa was pretty under here, so this was a really good trade for me because it was a very slight overpay for Jacko Bandit. It was an upgrade into Jacko Bandit, and even though I was overpaying about 3k here, my items were going very under, and Jacko Bandit was doing really solid and getting around 5k overpays on top of that, so it was a really good item for me to get. Definitely some really good profit here, and it was just some really more slow-moving, kind of grindy profit, which is what most of trading actually is. No huge trades like the Ghost Theory one in the first episode. There's not going to be really anything like that for a while unless I get super lucky. So this was just a lot of really gritty, grindy trades, which is going to happen a lot, and there's going to be only very few circumstances where you actually get huge overpays. But we're going to end off the episode at around 540k value on Rollymons, but I have a ton of really solid items that get huge overpays, and I could probably end up around 650k after I get the correct overpays for the items that I currently have. That means from the previous episode until now, once you consider overpays that items get, we end up with around 130k total profits in one episode, which is really solid. Anyway guys, that's going to end off the episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it, hopefully the trades were good and entertaining to watch, and hopefully you learned something about Roblox trading. If you guys want more episodes in this series, be sure to leave a like on the video below and let me know why you want some more episodes. Also let me know what you're thinking of the series and if you think we're going to be able to actually end up getting our goal, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested in getting notifications for future uploads. I'm also going to be doing some other varied trading content and some possibly lore type content on items. I kind of want to try that out because it seems like a lot of fun, so be sure to check that out if I end up doing it. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. See you next time. Peace.